Imagine this. You and your partner land in Lisbon for a 6-week escape from the Canadian or American winter. You are tired, a little disoriented, and all you want to do is text the kids, "We are safe," order a ride, and pull up the map to find your Airbnb. You take your phone off airplane mode and immediately see two things, either no service, or a carrier notification warning that roaming could cost more than your monthly grocery bill back home. In that moment your heart sinks, because you realize your phone bill might decide how relaxed or stressed this entire trip will feel. For a lot of retirees, this is when they think there has to be a better way than this. The good news is that in 2026 there is. eSIMs let you land in a new country, scan a simple code, and be online within minutes, without standing in line at an airport kiosk, hunting for a tiny plastic SIM card, or gambling with expensive roaming passes. For Canadian and American retirees who want to spend weeks or months at a time in places like Mexico, Portugal, Spain, Costa Rica, Panama, or Thailand, understanding eSIMs has become almost as important as understanding travel insurance. In this video we are going to break down eSIMs in plain language, then compare two of the most popular choices you will see recommended everywhere, Airalo and Yesim. You will see where each one shines, where they overlap, and how to match them to your style of travel. We will walk through real-world examples for snowbirds and slow travelers, and then build a simple, always-connected routine you can reuse for every trip. If you stay with me to the end, you will leave with a clear checklist you can screenshot and a calm plan you can follow before every international flight, even if you do not think of yourself as tech-savvy. This is TravelChoir, where we help Canadian and American retirees build safe, affordable lives abroad with fewer nasty surprises. Let us start with why connectivity matters so much right now. Why eSIMs matter so much for retirees in 2026. For most of your life, the phone company made all the rules. You accepted whatever roaming package they offered, crossed your fingers, and hoped the bill would not be too ugly when you got home. Maybe you tried to turn data off and rely on hotel Wi-Fi, or you spent your first afternoon in a new country trying to buy a local SIM card in a crowded shop where you could not read the signs. That might have been just about tolerable for a one-week vacation. Retirement travel is a different game. Longer trips magnify every weakness in the old approach. A one-week roaming pass on your Canadian or American carrier might be fine. A 90-day stay as a snowbird in Portugal or Thailand, using that same roaming pass, can quietly drain thousands of dollars over the course of a winter. And it is not just about money. If you arrive late at night in Mexico City or Lisbon with no data, you are suddenly trying to find taxis, addresses, and even clinics without maps or messaging. For retirees, being offline at the wrong moment is no longer a small inconvenience, it becomes a safety issue. eSIMs flip that script by letting you treat data like any other travel expense, something you choose intentionally, instead of something that happens to you. eSIMs in plain language, what they are and how they work. If the word eSIM sounds technical, do not worry, the idea is simple. For decades your phone needed a little piece of plastic called a SIM card. That chip told the network who you were and which carrier you belonged to. With an eSIM, that information becomes digital. Instead of inserting a tiny card, you download a profile to your phone using a QR code or a few taps in an app, just like installing a new app from the store. There are three big things retirees need to know. First, your phone has to be compatible and unlocked. Most recent iPhones and many Android devices sold by the major Canadian and American carriers support eSIMs, but some older phones are still locked to a single provider. A quick call to your carrier to confirm that your phone is unlocked and eSIM capable before you plan a big trip is one of the best 5-minute investments you can make. Second, you can usually keep two lines active at once. Your original number stays as your home line for bank codes and family, and your eSIM becomes your travel data line for maps, messages, and ride apps. Third, with eSIM apps like Airalo and Yesim, you are buying short-term data packages by country or region, not signing a long contract. When the trip ends, the plan ends with it, which is exactly what you want for retirement travel. roaming, local SIM, Wi-Fi only, and where eSIMs fit. To appreciate what Airalo and Yesim offer, it helps to see where eSIMs sit among the old options. One option is to roam with your existing carrier. This is the path of least resistance. You do nothing, your phone just works, and your bill may or may not be shocking. Roaming passes can be convenient for very short trips, but if you are planning multiple weeks or months abroad, they can quietly become one of your biggest travel expenses, especially on North American plans. Another option is to rely on physical local SIM cards. This can be cheap once you are set up, especially if you stay in a single country for a long time. The trade-off is that you often have to find the right shop, present your passport, navigate a language barrier, and then swap tiny SIM cards in a busy environment. A third option is to use Wi-Fi only, which sounds fine until you realize that the moments when you most need maps, ride apps, or access to medical information tend to be the moments when you're not near reliable Wi-Fi. eSIMs sit right in the middle of these extremes. They are usually far cheaper than roaming, much more convenient than chasing physical SIM cards on arrival, and far safer than gambling on Wi-Fi only. For most Canadian and American retirees, they are becoming the default first step. Airalo in practice for Canadian and American retirees. Now let us talk about Airalo. Think of Airalo as a global shelf of eSIM plans. You open the app, choose the country or region you are flying to, and instantly see data packages designed for travelers. Each package shows how much data you get, how many days it lasts, and what it costs in clear numbers instead of fine print. Popular snowbird destinations like Mexico, Costa Rica, Panama, Portugal, Spain, and Thailand are all there, often with several plan options at different price points. If you're scouting retirement in multiple European countries, you will usually find regional plans that cover most of your itinerary under a single eSIM profile. The experience is built to be straightforward even if you do not see yourself as tech-savvy. You pick a plan, pay with a card, follow the on-screen steps to install the eSIM profile, and then tell your phone to use it for data. Within a few minutes you can open maps, check the weather, and send a reassuring message to family back home. Airalo plans are typically data-only, so you use apps like WhatsApp, FaceTime, or Messenger instead of a local number for most calls. But for many retirees, that is more than enough. If you would rather not spend hours comparing every provider under the sun, I have linked a couple of vetted eSIM options, including Airalo, in the description so you can check live prices for your route. Using those links is completely optional, but it is an easy shortcut and it helps support the channel at no extra cost to you. Yesim and why it is a useful second tool. Yesim is another eSIM app you will see recommended, and it solves the same core problem with a slightly different flavor. Just like Airalo, you install the app, pick your destination, and choose from a menu of short-term data plans aimed at travelers rather than locals on year-long contracts. The big difference many retirees notice is how guided the experience feels. The app walks you step by step through choosing a plan, installing the eSIM, and switching your data line, which can be very reassuring if you are nervous about pressing the wrong button on your phone. In some destinations and seasons, Yesim also runs promotions or bundles that make certain plans especially attractive for light to moderate data users. If you mostly use data for maps, messaging, email, and the occasional news check, and you spend the rest of your time enjoying cafes, markets, and beaches, you may find that a modest Yesim package is all you need for a month-long stay. Just like with Airalo, you are usually buying data only, not a full local phone plan, and coverage varies from country to country. That is why I like to think of Airalo and Yesim as tools on the same belt. On some trips, Airalo's regional options might be the obvious choice. On others, a Yesim package might fit your dates and budget a little better. Keeping both installed gives you options instead of locking you into one answer. Airalo versus Yesim by travel style. Instead of declaring one permanent winner, it is more useful to match each app to a kind of traveler. Imagine a couple from Toronto planning a 2-week test trip to Lisbon in February. They are new to Europe, want everything to be as simple as possible, and are a little nervous about the technology. For them, the best choice might be whichever app, Airalo or Yesim, offers a clear Portugal-only plan with enough data to comfortably cover those 2 weeks. Either one will be miles better than roaming, and the real win is stepping off the plane with maps and messaging already working. Now, imagine a solo retiree from Arizona who plans to spend 3 months drifting between Spain, Portugal, and Italy, scouting possible retirement bases. Here, the flexibility of a regional plan that works across several countries with one eSIM profile becomes very attractive, because it means fewer settings to change and fewer chances to make a mistake. Finally, picture an experienced snowbird who spends part of the year in Mexico and part of the year exploring Southeast Asia. This traveler might keep both Airalo and Yesim installed, using whichever has the best combination of coverage, validity period, and price for each leg of the journey. The more you treat these apps as tools that compete for your business trip by trip, the more you tilt the system back in your favor instead of the carriers. Your simple, always connected, eSIM routine. Now let us turn this into something you can actually follow. You do not need a spreadsheet or a tech background, you just need a repeatable little routine that you run before every international flight, whether you are heading to Puerto Vallarta for a month or doing a 3-country scouting trip in Europe. First, before you even book flights, check your phone situation. Confirm that your device is eSIM capable and unlocked. If you are not sure, call your carrier and ask directly. While you have them on the line, ask what their roaming package would cost for the trip you are planning, so you have a baseline to compare against. Second, about a week before you leave, sit down with a coffee and open both the Airalo and Yesim apps. Type in your destination or region and look at how much data you realistically need based on your habits. If you stream video on mobile data, you will need more. If you mostly use maps and messaging and save streaming for Wi-Fi, you can pick a smaller package. Compare the duration, the amount of data, and the price in each app, then choose whichever plan fits both your itinerary and your comfort level. Third, when you land, connect to airport Wi-Fi, open the app you chose, and carefully follow the eSIM installation steps. Set the new eSIM as your data line, keep your home number active for verification codes, and do a quick test with maps and messaging. Near the end of this video, I will put this routine on screen so you can pause, screenshot it, and keep it as your personal, always connected checklist. And remember, the description has links to the specific eSIM tools and travel resources I would look at first if I were planning a long retirement trip right now, so you can go from idea to action in the next 10 minutes. Your next step towards stress-free connectivity abroad. By now you have seen that staying connected abroad does not have to be a guessing game. You understand why roaming alone is rarely a good strategy for long stays, why hunting for physical SIM cards can be stressful and time-consuming, and how eSIMs turn your phone into a flexible, trip-by-trip data machine that you control. You have also seen how Airalo and Yesim fit into this picture. They are not magic and they are not perfect, but they give Canadian and American retirees a huge amount of control, transparent pricing, and the ability to set up connectivity before leaving home. Used wisely, they let you land in Mexico City, Lisbon, Bangkok, or beyond with maps ready, messaging live, and family just one tap away. Your next steps are simple. Confirm your phone is ready for eSIMs, install both apps and look up plans for one destination you are seriously considering for a future scouting trip or winter escape. Even if you are not flying tomorrow, getting familiar with these tools now will make your future trips much calmer. You will find links in the description to a small set of vetted resources, including eSIM options and travel medical partners that work well for retirees. If you choose to use them, you support TravelChoir at no extra cost, and help this channel grow into a long-term companion for your life abroad. If this video helped you feel a little more confident about technology and travel, tap like so YouTube knows to show it to more future retirees. Subscribe to TravelChoir, and turn on notifications so you do not miss the rest of the 2026 series, including deep dives on insurance, residency, and choosing your first retirement base. And tell me in the comments where you are thinking of trying your first eSIM-powered trip, whether that is Mexico, Portugal, Thailand, or somewhere completely different. I read as many comments as I can, and your questions often shape future videos. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next episode of our TravelChoir Retirement Abroad series.